dating की बात करें, a lot of women feel at risk because of the rejection that men are not able to deal with. And you read stories about it and they're really scary. I want to ask very specifically, when you all had rejection as men, जो face नहीं कर पाते, क्या सीख सकते हैं वो from those who have faced and overcome?
I think पहले तो ईगो आता है आपके अंदर कि ये मुझे कैसे छोड़ा, मैं तो सभी कर रहा था, मैं तो प्यार भी दिखा रहा था, मैं तो मतलब लव लेटर्स भी लिख रहा था, मैं तो फूल भी, why did she leave me, how can she leave me? That's the first thought that comes to your mind. Because again I had sisters, मैंने भी उनसे बोला कि how can, लड़की को चाहिए होता है कि प्यार दिखाओ, लड़की को चाहिए होता है फूल लेके आओ, टाइम स्पेंड, मैं तो सब कर रहा था. हाँ, but there must be a time in your life where a girl has come to you and you didn't like her. Sometimes the girl doesn't like you. Sometimes you don't like the girl. You have to be okay with it. There's no reason. तू भले ही perfect बंदा हो, पर शायद तू उसके लिए perfect नहीं है. Come to terms with that and everything will be better for you in life. I said, yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, it's a human tendency for people to think ना कि मेरी feelings are a measure of truth. अगर मुझे गुस्सा आया है तो मतलब किसी और ने मुझे गुस्सा दिलाया है, और अगर किसी और ने मुझे गुस्सा दिलाया है तो ये उसकी गलती है. तो गुस्से फीलिंग्स भी बहुत, हम तो नेम कर रहे हैं ना, फीलिंग का एक्चुअली नेम क्या होता है हमें पता नहीं.
My 2 cents on this and from my own experiences is that I have actually, I'll take both these things that Varun and Amol have said, where I have used the understanding of ego is the idea of self. When you actually understand who you are, like put yourself ahead. Once the absence of ego happens is when love happens. And I feel like if there's rejection in love and somebody's left you, so on and so forth, that ego comes back. Now that ego, instead of using it as pride, use it as an understanding of self again. And don't like as he said, that don't think the world revolves around you. For a second, actually think that your world revolves around you. So the person who's left is not that important. What's left behind is more important. Like think about yourself. Think about how you can love yourself and how you can fix the world around you, and that really helps you moving on.
Sorry, इससे मुझे याद है कि ये मैं एक example देता हूँ. Mostly when we do a lot of self talk. Every human is doing self talk. यार मैं इस situation से कैसे निकलूँ, क्या मैं ये करूँ, क्या मैं करूँ, दिमाग में voices चलती रहती हैं. And one little hack that I have discovered recently in life,
you need to take care of the inner child.
Give yourself the advice that you would give your child.
Fair, absolutely.
Right. अगर वो दुख में शराब पीने जा रहा है तो आप क्या बोलोगे उसके, भाई ये नहीं करना है, अपने आप को हार्म नहीं करना है, find healthy habits, go make new friends, go for a walk. तो जो भी उस मोमेंट में एडवाइस आप उसको दोगे जिससे आप एक्चुअली में प्यार करते हो outside of you.
I think half the reaction is everybody wants a comfortable, happy life, right? तो आपके जब लाइफ से वो एक पार्टनर चले जाता है, you like कल से ये नहीं रहेगा, then you start to panic, then you're like अरे नहीं, I'll do everything in my capacity to get her back, and then she's like नहीं, I don't want to be, then you're like just angry कि मेरी लाइफ बदलने वाली है, मेरी लाइफ it will not be like comfortable again. I think the moment we accept the fact that life बहुत बड़ी है और ये होते रहेगा, learn from it and then go forward in life. वो भी जा रही है, उसकी लाइफ नहीं रुक रही.
Correct.
तू क्यों रोके बैठा है?
आखिर तक आप हो अपने साथ तो अपना ख्याल रखो भाई.
So with my first breakup, I mean, I know this, I'm going to really reduce it and simplify it. The only breakup. The first breakup, my go-to quote was, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. I was 16.
It's great. Whatever helps you in that
When, of course, I would just amend that and say that, it's okay to cry because it happened. But also smile because it happened. I think it is, that reductive quote is actually a really nice meaning of life also. I want to really just talk a little bit about dating, and I also want to talk about dating from the perspective of men. And it sometimes seems, and there's research to say that it is, and I want to acknowledge that there's a lot of young men who feel that dating is much harder for men than it is for women. At the same time, also there's not just research but enough stories to say that it is riskier for women than it is for men. Why is dating such a different experience for men and women? What is it that is modern dating really that difficult as everyone is talking about, and we've heard a little bit of the complexities of it?
Okay, my take, hot take.
Hot take, okay.
Dating for men in the modern world is hard because it's the one place where we fundamentally are powerless.
Wow.
And we live in a world where men are taught to seek power. And in the dating world, we are told to cede power in dating. In marriage, you reclaim power. Man of the house. For women, like you said, it's scary. And the thing I've heard from all my women friends, who are the single ones who have also attempted the apps and who are attempt every version of what it means to find a partner in the modern age, unke liye, it is a commonly voiced frustration. And I'll tell you, hot take is I attribute this idea, is that a good man is an average woman.
Yeah, fair.
So we are performing on a level where every girl we know now basics है. मतलब ये memes बनते हैं ना कि the man at 25-year-old is having epiphanies and all. मैं अभी मतलब epiphany हो रहा है, पिछले साल मैं सब कुछ समझ रहा हूँ. लड़कियां तो 16 साल की उम्र में वो अपने slumber party में ये सारे discussions हुए हैं. This is why it's hard for women.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really well. I mean,
Very well put. Very
good, well said, well said.
I will agree to the fact that it's scarier for women. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like most of the angst in relationships and dating world, so on and so forth, comes from the lack of intimacy in human experience. And I truly feel that when women feel a lack of intimacy, they get extremely sad. Men get extremely angry. So to deal with sadness is still a more safer option than to deal with anger.
Yeah.
And when men deal with anger, it's their lack of intimacy.
of that.
But how-
I actually,
Very
I
nice.
believe that.
Very nice insight.
But I
I
really,
believe that even in the case of men, it is just sadness. लेकिन वो sadness को express करना क्योंकि नहीं आता है, तो वो sadness
anger
बन
बन
जाता है.
जाता है.
Absolutely.
Anger is
Borrowed
the
emotion.
sadness of fear.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's derived from that. Yeah.
It's the sadness of fear.
It's a
and
reaction.
because we live in a world as men where we don't know how to process sadness and
Yeah.
fear, we jump to this idea of ki, how do I feel again powerless? How dare I not be in control of this?
let me ask you then, maybe in your own experience, have you done something in your relationships in the past where you look back and say that, you know, I'm glad that I'm better than that now?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, 100%.
Without a doubt.
Means-
Yes.
Without a doubt. नहीं, जैसे I was saying,
इतने पत्ते नहीं खोलने.
जब
नहीं बट भाई तुमसे पत्ते कौन
हमारे content के लिए सारे पत्ते.
मैं खोलता हूँ. मैं खोलता
कंटेंट बना रहे हैं.
मैं
But हम
खोलता
fictional story बना के ना यार.
For the sake of this conversation, I will admit to something I've done. So very embarrassed, but again, I've admitted it. As I said, I've only been in 2 relationships, so this was after my first relationship. After my girlfriend at that time broke up with me, I was, and she, you know, left the country. I was in a place where I was just like, I didn't have contact, and I was just very confused. Like, you know, she didn't share her number with me for a bit because she's also kind of going through stuff on her own. And you know, the thing is that I kind of knew her email password. So I wanted to understand ki what is, even if she's not reaching out to me, maybe there is some communication that is happening with someone else about what she's feeling. So at least I can understand. And
क्या ये ख्याल आया कोई और लड़का है?
हाँ वो तो
आया हुआ, ख्याल तो आया
100%
हुआ।
ही
तो वही होता है।
है 100% ही है, कोई और तो कोई नहीं है. Of course, at the same time I was like, is she talking about me to someone? Because am I the only one feeling this way? Maybe she's also feeling it, and because she's not reached out, I don't know. So I did break into email to figure it out, and she was not talking about me at all, which is which I
और बुरा
realized.
लगा. मेरी बातें नहीं करी.
Yeah, मेरे को mention ही नहीं, मेरा mention ही नहीं हुआ. I did not even realize at that time that this is uncool behavior, right? Like I did realize it later. And fortunately, we are really, in fact, I would say she's if not my closest friends today, if not the closest, one of my closest friends. I was able to speak to her and tell her this. I was able to have a conversation and say that, okay, I want to admit to something that I've done, and I think it was very uncool. I crossed a boundary and I repent it, and that's why I want to let you know. But when you're in that place, आपको पता नहीं होता कि red flag होता क्या है.
Yeah.
और बाद में जाके समझ आता है red flag behavior क्या होता है. So I want to really, again, in the interest of honesty, have you had red flag behavior that you would like to put out?
I'll tell you my story. The first time I fell in love, that relationship ended, and she was 6 years older than I was. Madly in love again, and really thought that this is the love of my life, and so on and so forth. And I was the one who actually ended the relationship because of my behavior, and I cheated on her. And I fell in love with somebody else, and without her knowledge, and continued with that relationship for another 5-6 months while being with somebody else at the same time. And when the knowledge came out, and when I confessed to her, it ended on a very sour note. So much so that was the first experience I had of not just heartbreak, but heartbreak with the guilt of you being the reason. Like it's been close to like 13 years or so, whatever, over a decade now. Even till date, that trauma still flows on, because in the next relationship, I was being cheated on, and I told myself and stayed in the relationship because I told myself that I deserved it. No, it's okay, it's my fault, I did something there, this is karma coming back to me, and just stayed in that relationship.
You're saying कि maybe I deserved it, वो सब तो ठीक है, वो story है justify करने के लिए, लेकिन you realize after the first one that you're capable of causing that kind of pain to another human being.
No, my thing was more about I'm genuinely very filmy. Like I'm actually, when I say I'm in love, I'm so much in love that the same fear that I had of what I'm going through, I didn't want my partner to feel that.
Yes.
So I was protecting her by staying in the relationship. It sounds like I'm putting myself on a high ground, Kina. I forgive you, but I didn't forgive her.
I feel like this is something we navigate a lot. Like, and when does it come? Like, I did things in a relationship I didn't think. I thought I was a nice guy. But it's just stuff that looking back on, again, the way of being dismissive of somebody else's perspective, somebody else's emotional concern versus a practical concern, playing the game of comparison, playing the game of justifications, playing the game of कि ये इसके comparison में ये तुलना कर रहे हो यार, क्यों हिसाब किताब, क्यों आप क्यों जता रहे हो कि मैंने इतनी बार, हम सब कर चुके, एंड वो क्यों आ रहा है, ये सवाल करना खुद से बहुत जरूरी है. इससे पहले कहाँ कुछ कुछ एक्सपीरियंस हुआ, कुछ एक फीलिंग हुई और वो ठीक से मैंने एक्सप्रेस नहीं किया, अब वो उसको मैंने अंदर दबाया.
कभी-कभी इस रिश्ते में हम उस रिश्ते की लड़ाइयाँ कर रहे होते हैं.
वो अक्सर करते हैं.
बहुत बार.
दिस इज ऑल
ऑपोजिट रोल्स भी प्ले कर रहे होते हैं.
ऑपोजिट रोल्स हम कॉम्पनसेट कर रहे हैं.
You were nodding your head a lot.
So I've been in a few relationships,
अपना red flag.
and they all have left me, right? And very easy to put the blame on the girl.
They all.
Huh?
That's
They all-
interesting.
You've not broken up with anybody?
No, I haven't.
Wow.
Yeah. And they all left me, and they've gone to somebody else immediately after the relationship. And I've always been like, मेरे साथ ही क्यों होता है, मेरे साथ ही क्यों होता है. So my last breakup that happened, I was like, मेरे साथ क्यों हुआ, मैंने सब कुछ किया, and then I sat with myself, I said, ये काफी बार हो चुका है तेरे साथ. तो शायद
सोचना पड़ेगा.
तो शायद गलती मेरी है.
I sat myself down.
Maybe I'm the problem.
I said maybe I'm
Doing
fucking up,
something
like really badly. And then I recalled everything कि वो क्या बोल रहे थे मुझे जो मैं सुन नहीं पाया. That देखो स्टार्टिंग में सब शाहरुख खान होते हैं, ठीक है, सबने पिक्चरें देखी, सब बोलते हैं कि the chase period is great, like you're doing everything for the girl. पर शाहरुख खान की पिक्चर भी चेस पीरियड के बाद खत्म हो जाती है. हमको पता नहीं उसके बाद क्या करना होता है. अगेन आई सेड कि कंप्लेसेंट हो जाते हैं ना. हम पिक्चरों में तो इतना ही सीखा है ना, वहीं से सीखे.
और अगर रिलेशनशिप के ऊपर पिक्चर बनती है तो वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बारे में
बनती है. मतलब एवरी नाउ एंड देन कि यू नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग मी, क्या चाहिए और कितना करूं, कर तो रहूं. अगेन लाइक व्हाट यू सेड, कर तो रहूं, कितना और करूं. दिस इज माय वर्जन ऑफ लव. नो, बट शी इज ओपनली टेलिंग यू व्हाट शी वांट्स. What she wants as a partner, she's telling you, you're coming close to that, maybe you're not meeting that requirement. But in your head, you're doing everything to make that relationship work.
जायज ना जायज, तू सही मैं गलत तू.
Sorry, touchy topic, just want to correct. Shah Rukh Khan stands for the perpetuity of the chase.
Yes.
You know, he in films where he speaks about the chase. And then guys, I've read this so much on the internet about what those films really stood up for, and especially with his characters in the romantic films, is that the chase for love is lifelong.
Yeah.
It is lifelong. And as he very, very well put, that you don't have to sit down and think कि अब क्या करूं, क्योंकि सामने वाला हमेशा आपको बता रहा है. हमेशा आपको बता रहा होता है, आप बस थक गए होते हो.
You're right, 100%.
गए होते हो. मुझे कई बार लगता है कि even a mild questioning or a mild suggestion feels like a personal attack.
Yeah.
क्योंकि हम ले नहीं पाते. Actually, it's a person bringing to you a concern. It's being expressed in whatever way. It could be expressed as you never buy me flowers anymore. Concern is कि वो जो एक connection है which comes through gesture, which comes through effort, वो उसकी कमी महसूस हो रही है. तो never buy me flowers. What do you mean never buy me flowers?
पिछले हफ्ते लेके आया था क्या?
ये argument होता है ना. हम लोग fact, हाँ, so it's a bid for connection. वो recognize करना कितना जरूरी है.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share.